proceed further from that. Mithyatva, we are from the beginning of the time, since whatever the existence we had, we are so, don't ask any question, no, how did I get into the Mithyatva? Okay. All that question is an irrelevant question from Jainism. Okay, and I think once we already discussed that question. Delusion or gross ignorance state of right faith and right conviction. So this is the Mithyatva state, delusions, gross ignorance. And we have repeated the definition of Mithyatva. You don't know what is right, but you think you have the complete knowledge what is right thing. If you don't know only up to this point, it is easy to teach you. It is easy to explain you. The teacher can teach you. But if you think you know everything, even Mahavira can come and cannot teach. Because person thinks he knows everything. He has the good knowledge of what is Mithyatva and what is the false conviction. And that is why the attitude of our life should be always, whoever says something, when they are making the statement, don't try to analyze the statement. Just listen. You do the analysis at the end of the statements. Everything, whatever person has to say was already said, and then you decide. That is the way you do it. Then you know what is right things and what is wrong things, and which way you need to proceed. But the responsibility is yours, nobody else. No guru can provide you some guidance, but you just look at the Mahavir's life. He delivered the sermons to all these people. Not everybody accepted Jainism. Not everybody become Shravak, okay, or renounce it. The few of them got convinced and they have done it, okay. But we could have been even there at that time when Mahavir did the sermons and did not impress us, okay, and we continue to remain in the samsara. So that's what I'm trying to say, okay. So you got to understand, make sure it works in your logic. You are responsible. There is nobody else. Whatever you do, you cannot just blame anybody, say, oh, because he said, and I just follow him, and now I am in a mess or something like that. That is not, you don't blame anybody for your spirituality and the rate and status of the spirituality. Only you are responsible. Okay. The state is possessed by all souls which we take, and the soul does not have a true knowledge and a faith in the reality, but believes in non-reality. Okay. So that is the most important thing as far as understanding. Now, Mithyatva. There are three progressive stages of Mithyatva. When you are in Mithyatva, generally, whether you are in Mithyatva or you are in Samyaktva, it is 1 or 0. That's the way the Mithyatva stage works. From first, you go to the Samyaktva stage, is the fourth Gunasthan. So when you progress yourself, okay, from first to fourth directly. But for understanding purpose, these are the three subcategory. Mithyatva monia, Mishra monia, and Samyaktva monia. Okay. Some of the books recognizes these three. Some of the books does not recognize. Mithyatva is like one category. So if you come across this kind of the terminology, Mithyatva monia, Mishra monia, and Samyaktva monia, just it is nothing but under the heading of Mithyatva, these are the gradation. Samyaktva monia is the least Mithyatva. Higher Mithyatva is Mishra monia, and higher than that, it is the Mithyatva monia. Okay, so Mithyatva monia, it is better than total Mithyatva, just a Mithyatva. But it is still very, from belief point of view, it is still high. So these are, so once you attain Samyaktva, these three karma, Mithyatva monia karma, Mishra monia karma, and Samyaktva monia, if you believe that way, they will be all gone from you. The soul migrates to fourth stage after acquiring the right knowledge and having the right conviction. Okay. Now, in an addition to that, now you have a knowledge what is right. What is Samyaktva means? Knowledge is always knowledge about soul. In Jainism, you keep this thing in the mind. Whenever Jainism says knowledge, it is only the knowledge about soul, nothing else. You don't say Bhagwan Mahavir knew how to make the car. That is not. Bhagwan Mahavir had Keval Gnan. That knowledge means he knew Keval totally. Okay? Then about the soul, that he is a soul. He is a pure soul. And what are the qualities of the soul? He knew completely all the qualities of the pure soul. And to recognize pure soul, he also knew the qualities of the soul which are polluted or which are Mithyatva and any other stages in between. But these are all the soul's quality. Okay? So that is the key things you have to remember. Now, here is the second stage and the third stage. It is not you go from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, but you go from 1 to 4. And how did you reach to 4? If you have reached by suppressing, then you will fall back. If you have reached by proper understanding, but I use the word proper understanding, then you will not fall back. And we will discuss a little bit in a couple of charts after this one. But the Sasvadana means one has a taste of the true belief, means somebody already reached to the fourth stage and fall down. That is why, it could be 3, 2, and ultimately went back to 1. Okay? Because even though he understood, but he understood what is the true nature of the soul. But when conduct comes, he could not, he found out a lot of other benefits and he fall back. Okay? And he fall back. That's the point. It is only his fault. While some people reach the Samyaktva state with the proper understanding that you cannot change their mind. Okay? So this one, in your practice, you can observe these things. So that's the key things you got to remember. This state exists only while actually falling down from fourth to the first stage. The duration is less than. The second Gunasthan stage duration, it is less than 48 minutes. Okay, that's a measurement of unit. It's a short duration, what it means. Okay. Then the third stage is a mixed stage. Mixed stage or partially rational belief and partially not. Okay, that kind of situation, like a pendulum, this way to that way to swing that way. And we come across in our life that kind of a swinging situation. We are not able to decide which way to go. Okay. But that state doesn't stay long. Okay. That, again, what Jainism is always measured is less than 48 minutes, very short. That means it is a short stage. Okay. So this is kind of some of the technical things we discussed it at that time. But anyway, after the first fall, now you already knew the condition of the third stage. Okay. So after the first fall, when you start rising again, you come to first to third and then to the fourth stage. Beginning first time without realizing, you go 1 to 4th. Then you fall back. And if you fall back, then you can reach to third again, that mixed stage, and then you go to the fourth one. Okay, so this is just a technical matter. It has very little importance. No, if you understand the fundamentals, no, it has no value in a sense. Okay, because now here is the Samyag-Drishti. What is the Samyag-Drishti or Samyaktva? These are all same name. Okay, Samyag-Drishti, Samyaktva, right faith or right conviction. These are all four as the same meaning. Okay, soul migrates directly to the fourth stage from the first stage, first time. Okay, soul possesses right faith and right knowledge, but lack of self-control. Okay, so this one we need to understand it, that you know what is right things to do. That is very clear. But you are not able to do, or you are not able to practice that way. There is a famous saying like in Mahabharata, Duryodhana is making the same statement. I know what is right things to do, but I cannot accept it. I cannot practice it. I know what is wrong thing to do, but I cannot live. So that is the famous saying in the Mahabharata. Okay. Hence, it is known as avirat, without charitra. Okay, Samyag-Drishti. But you have a right knowledge. There are many college professors, like if you look at it. I met a guy, like he's a staunch Christian, but he teaches the Buddhism, and he's expert in Buddhism. Okay, that means he knows about the Buddhism very well, but his practice is according to the Christianity. That's what he practices, religion, and we discuss it all the time also. Okay. In fact, they said it in the field of religion in the college level. Okay. They don't hire the person who is practicing religion. They don't ask him to teach. They always tell him to teach other religion than what you are practicing. That way you become unbiased. Otherwise, you will be biased. And that is not proper for the universities. You got to give the education unbiasedly. Okay. And that knowledge only, proper knowledge only, that is the gateway to the liberation. Okay, even though you are not practicing it, but once you know what is right things, you will come around. whenever the situation changes. Okay. So that is the conviction. Soul possesses the right faith and right knowledge, but lacks the self-control or conduct, and hence it is known as avirat Samyag-Drishti. The fourth stage, it is called Samyag-Drishti, but then they put a word in the front, avirat. Virti is a charitra. Avirat is without conduct, without proper conduct, but the person has a good knowledge about the soul. And that's why he is a Samyag-Drishti soul, but not is a vowelless right faith. There is no charitra. These things will occur from fourth all the way to the 14 stages of the Gunasthan. It is nothing but the various degree of the conduct or charitra. From first and fourth, it is a knowledge. But from fourth to 14th stages, it is nothing but various degree of conduct, means improving degree of the conduct. Okay. So that's how that the whole thing is. Once you know what is right things, they say that's a gateway of liberation. Okay. If you don't know even that thing, there is no way you can start journey. So journey begins from the fourth stage. Now, once you acquire Samyag-Drishti or Samyaktva or right faith, right conviction, that acquiring Samyaktva, you can use one of the three ways. One is called Upsamve, second is Kshayopsamve, and the third is the Kshaik way. Now, this is a very practical definition, you say. Upsamve means you are suppressing. What it happens, let's say, somebody insults you, you get real mad, you get angry, but you don't want to show your anger in presence of the society, in the presence of all other people. Okay, so even though internally you are really mad, you are really angry, but you are suppressing externally, you do not let that anger come out of you. You are suppressing it. Okay, this is how you progress also. Okay, this is how you can progress, by suppressing your vices, by suppressing your vices. And we all know you can only go so far. Then the suppression will come out. It will blow. At that time, it will come with a very heavy forces out. So keep that thing in mind. Anytime you have progressed by suppressing it, not by understanding it properly, that is going to bite you, and you will never attain liberation. Even though in Jainism, Jaina Acharyas said you can progress up to a certain point, which is true, by suppressing it. But then once it gets too much, you cannot handle it. It will come out and you fall back all the way to one. Okay. And we will see how far you can reach through Upsamve. Through Upsamve, through suppression way, how many stages of the Gunasthan you can reach. And as we progress further, we will define it. Let me take the third one first, and then I'll come to second one. The Kshaik way, which is called complete eradication. Complete eradication, which is the Shaikve. Now, the difference between the two. That's one first you need to understand, and then we'll come to the second one. Upsamve, you are suppressing. In the Kshaik way, the Kashai does not arise in you. That means if somebody comes and insults Bhagwan Mahavir, while Bhagwan Mahavir was no alive and going place to place after Kevagnan and preaching. Okay? Somebody comes and insults us. Bhagwan Mahavir cannot get angry, okay, because anger is completely eradicated from his quality. All kashais are completely eradicated. Eradicated means you don't, it's not like you, anger arises in you and you are suppressing. It is a kshay. It is totally removed. So under that condition, you cannot go out of the qualities of the soul. You continue to live every moment according to the qualities of the soul. When person attains Keval Gnan, now he is living according to the qualities of the soul. Every moment, forever. Okay? That is the point what I'm trying to, means his soul is pure now. And you cannot pollute that particular soul. So that is the ultimate, number 3. What is number 2? Number 2 is akshayopsham. Many of the people progresses via akshayopsham. Is a partial suppression and partial eradication. Now, how does that thing occur? How could you, because I use the word, like many of the people use this technique, Kshayopshamic technique, to progress spiritually. That also goes to certain level, okay? Then you got to move towards Kshaik way to achieve the ultimate goal. Otherwise, you are going to fall, okay? But how do you do Kshayopshamik? Means how do you partial suppressing and partial eradication? Let me explain you that. Suppose somebody insults you. You get upsham, you suppression, you get anger arises in you. You are not showing your anger in the presence of the society, in the presence of everybody. You are suppressing. In the evening or at night, you think about that incident. You are meditating on that incident. What is my duty? What is my responsibility? What Mahavira would have done under these circumstances? Use always Mahavir's example, okay? And you will find proper answer when you use that logic. That naturally Mahavir has no kashai within you. Why do I have to become mad, angry, and show my anger? Okay? So when you do meditation on that one, your anger towards that person is going to be reduced. So next day, you will not have as kind of the anger, and your anger towards that person is reduced. And day later, similar things, if you continue to meditate on that, then you can reach to ultimately eradication state. Okay? If you do that way, then it is called Kshayopsham. You need partial suppression and partial eradication. Okay? Make sure the suppression doesn't override you. Okay? You are suppressing. That will be otherwise bouncing. This is the best, I think, explanation I can give you on a Kshayopsham. In Kshayopsham, the anger arises in you not a very high degree. It is less degree. And it will continuously, day by day, with meditation, with the help of meditation, you will reduce it, and ultimately you can eliminate and you come to the kshaik state. Okay, if you progress that way. But there are some people, the next day their anger increases even. I wanted to teach him the lesson. I wanted to insult him. I'm waiting for the opportunity. And then when the opportunity comes, no, he will blow it, explain it. That is not the things what we talk in Kshayopsham. That is Upsham. Continue to be remaining the suppression mode all the time. And that will blow one day, okay, if you accumulate it in that way. But what Jainism is saying, you can look like you are progressing by using all three. But you can only attain liberation through kshaik way. You cannot attain through kshayopsham way because there is a suppression is there. And as long as there is a suppression is there, it is not going to attain the pure state of the soul. Okay? So that's the three things, whatever these three definitions, what I wanted to show you here. That make sure in the beginning, no, you are suppressing the things. But then don't maintain the suppression. Try to do the meditation and try to remove from suppression into eradication. Change that way, okay? And more you do it, our journey is kshayopshamic way, okay, always. And at the last moment, you need to change from kshayopsham to kshaik when your spiritual progress is very high, okay? Let me, any question here? I just wanted to make sure that